Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this special playoff preview edition of Delayed Offside. And I tell you, it's the best time of the year, Adam. I'm excited. I know you're excited. And I mean, we have a lot to pack into our half-hour show here. So, let's not banter back and forth at the start. Let's just get right into it. And let's start with the first season preview matchup, the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Winnipeg Jets. Now, as you'll see with these stats here, I have switched up a few of them from what I've done the previous years. For goaltending, instead of team save percentage, I went with goals against above expected. I find it's a better stat to determine how good a team's goaltender played, since a great defensive team will likely bring up a goalie save percentage. And for the penalty kill, instead of PK percentage, I went with PK expected goals against per 60, similar to how we determine a team's defense at even strength. A strong goaltender can make a team's PK appear better than it is. So expected goals against, I find, better highlights a team's ability to suppress scoring chances while shorthanded. Yep. And as you can see here, Connor Hellebuyck made up for a lot of the Jets' shortcomings, and they will definitely need him at his best to stop a very good 5-on-5 offensive team in the Golden Knights, and one who's getting Mark Stone back, which should help them on both ends of the ice. Adam, who do you think is going to win this series, and how many games and why?
Well, this is going to be a tough series, but I do think that the Vegas Golden Knights are going to win this first round, and I think it's going to be in 7 games. I think Winnipeg will push, but they're just too offensively dominant, and the Winnipeg Jets struggle to create at 5-on-5 and on the power play, which is problematic because you need scoring. So where's that scoring going to come from? Now, coming into the playoffs, however, they have seemed to have found a bit of a scoring touch and have hit a bit of a run at the right time. But is it too little too late? And, I wonder about their depth now.
So, yeah. So you have, who do you have? You have
I have Vegas.
Vegas in how many games?
In 7.
In 7 games. Okay.
Yeah, that's my prediction.
All right. All year I've been bashing the Jets. All year I've been saying that this is not a great team. This is a team that's propped up by Hellebuyck. Well, Jets fans, I'm actually going to throw you a bone here. I'm actually going to go with the Jets on this one. And the reason is because of Hellebuyck again. Honestly, I think he's been absolutely brilliant down the stretch here. Absolutely phenomenal. And if he can keep playing at that level into this first round of the playoffs, I think that is going to make this team very difficult to beat. And so I think he is going to be the X factor in this series and steal the Jets a series. So I'm going to go with the Jets in 7.
Ooh, not bad. Nice.
All right. That was fun. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on to your Edmonton Oilers, buddy. Once again, doing battle against the LA Kings in the first round of the playoffs. And, this is kind of your classic offense versus defense matchup. I mean, it's not 100% like that, because I know Edmonton has played a lot better defensively lately, and LA does have a good power play. Yeah. But, in terms of storyline, it fits, right? The Oilers have the best power play of all time, which is insane. It's insane that they were able to beat out the teams from the 70s and 80s. And the first team to have over 4 100-point scores since the Lemieux era Penguins. So
3.
Offensive juggernaut. 3. What did I say?
4.
Oh, 3. Yes.
Pretty close. Hyman had mid-80s. So
3 100-point scores. And the Kings are a very stingy team, right? Like they have some great two-way centermen down the middle, Kopitar, Danault, an all-time great in Doughty. They are tough to play against. So Adam, who's winning this one? Offense or defense?
Edmonton's winning this, and they're going to win it in 5 games.
No respect for LA.
Ever since they've pulled up Vincent Desharnais as a defenseman from the AHL, and they traded for Ekholm and Bukestad, that team has been outstanding. They haven't had a regulation loss since the trade deadline. They have been unbelievable. Their defense seems to have just calmed down and doesn't seem as panicked anymore. They still struggle with zone exits, but that's going to be cleaned up. They need to just find that patience, but at the same time, their offensive prowess is the best in the league. They are creating and scoring on 5-on-5 shorthanded. They had 18 shorthanded goals this year, like Janmark, Derek Ryan, Connor McDavid, I believe Evander Kane, like everyone's contributing on the PK. And then depth scoring. We're getting depth scoring, and that matters big time. So I think the Kings are a good team. I just don't think they're capable of beating Edmonton this year again.
There you go. All right. Well, I'm going to agree with you, Adam. I do think the Oilers have something special going on this year. And you have to think if there's any year that they were going to do the thing, it would have to be this year.
Yeah.
Like you're never going to see, I'm not going to say you're never say never. You're likely never going to see Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman putting up these kind of point totals again. And you have McDavid putting up Mario Lemieux-esque numbers.
Yeah.
Is he going to put up that amount? I mean, obviously he's insanely good. He's always going to be the best player in the world.
Yeah.
But are we going to see Mario Lemieux type of play from him again? I think Edmonton has everything clicking at the right time. Defensively as well, they've turned things around, especially with bringing up Ekholm and like Bukestad, like you mentioned.
How many games?
I think it's going to be tight. I think it's not going to be 5. I think LA still is a very good team. I think they're actually the better team at 5-on-5, but Edmonton, I think, is going to take advantage of the more power play opportunities that you get in the first round of the playoffs. And because of that, they are going to squeak one out in 7 games. That's what I think. Okay. 7 games they're going to take.
Okay, fair. Not going to happen though.
5. That's what you think, eh?
Yeah, I think 5, and I'm being generous.
LA's played really well since the deadline too. So
they haven't beaten Edmonton. Edmonton's beaten them at their own game since the trade deadline too. Like,
we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Exactly.
I think it's going to be another tough battle, but we'll see. I tell you what,
I agree.
You better hope Stuart Skinner can stay healthy.
Absolutely. Hey, we've got a healthy Draisaitl too. He's not playing on one leg.
Yep, that's fair.
Yep. So where are we at here?
All right, let's go to the Central Division.
Jump into?
Central Division. We'll stay in the West. Here we have the defending champion Colorado Avalanche up against the new kids on the block, the Seattle Kraken, or the Seattle Kraken, as Adam likes to call them.
I like to say Kraken.
And I tell you what, last year Seattle was a great defensive team, but like couldn't make the playoffs because they had bad goaltending and a lack of offense. Yeah. This year their goaltending's still bad, but I couldn't believe this. They have the best offense in the league at 5-on-5. I didn't realize this team was that good offensively. And I mean, it's really because of this team's amazing depth. They have scoring up and down the lineup. Colorado, on the other hand, a lot of injury issues all season, and it's kind of continuing into the playoffs here. But I tell you, this team is still very good with only their penalty kill falling outside of the top half of the league in these stats here. So, Adam, who do you have in this one?
I'm going to be bold here. I'm going to say that Seattle beats Colorado in
7. You hope Seattle beats Colorado.
7. You know what? That's my prediction. And it's simply because they don't have Landeskog. He's not going to make an appearance in the playoffs.
But he hasn't played all season.
Well, that's exactly it. But he is an X factor on that team. Cale McCarr's injured.
He's going to be back, though. He's going to be back for playoffs.
Josh Manson injured as well. Like, you've got some guys that are pretty dinged up, and I wouldn't count them out at all or bet heavily against them. Mm-hmm. But I do think that Seattle's got a more diverse team game, and it shows with that 5-on-5 scoring as well. We're going to see what they're like in the playoffs because they've never been. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'll give it in 7.
I like it. I think Seattle is a good team, and like if they had better goaltending, I think they could maybe pull this one out. And I think I think it really does depend how banged up is Colorado.
Yeah.
It sounds like Cale Makar is going to be back for the playoffs. I believe Manson's going to be back. I think they have mostly everyone back.
And how healthy are they? That's the big
but
thing,
but
right?
exactly
Like,
how healthy are
yeah,
they? Are they limping into the playoffs or are they fine? And
yeah,
that's going to be a big determining factor, especially Cale Makar. Like
yeah,
you need Cale Makar at least close to 100%. He doesn't necessarily have to be 100% because even at like 90%, he's better than most of the
yeah,
defensemen in the league. But you're going to need him to be at least, functional in the playoffs,
yeah.
right? For Colorado to have a long stretch here. I'm going to
Exactly.
assume that he is okay. And that's what I'm going to base it off of. And if he's
Okay.
not, then this will be wrong. But I'm going to say he's healthy enough. And I think
Yeah.
Colorado then will win this one.
Yeah.
They've been one of the hottest teams since the trade deadline,
Yeah.
right there with Edmonton in terms of wins and putting up hot streaks. And I mean, they are the defending champions. They know what it takes. So I'm going to go with them in 6. I do think it is going to be a tight series.
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right. Other central matchup, Dallas Stars taking on the Minnesota Wild. And where it looks here like the Dallas Stars advantage will be is its offense. The team has only been above average at 5-on-5, but that is a heck of a lot better than the Wild's 29th ranked offense. Dallas's power play is also much more potent than the Wild's. And while Minnesota's goaltending is ranked higher here in these stats, I mean, that's more team goaltending.
Yeah.
And Gustafsson and Fleury is a great tandem. They are. But I mean, Jake Ottinger, we've seen what a monster he can be in the playoffs last year, and that could happen again this year. So I'm not even sure if I would give Minnesota the advantage there necessarily.
Yeah.
So Adam, do you think this is Dallas's series to lose?
I think it's Dallas's series to lose. Absolutely. They were close last year with the Flames. I think that they're more offensive minded with DeBoer as their coach this year, as opposed to Bonus last year. I think they beat Minnesota in 6. Yeah, not much else to say. Like Ottinger stood on his head. He's got that experience. He's ready to go to the next level. Whereas, I just, Minnesota to me is a very blah team, a boring team to watch.
Which is too bad. They were so exciting. Yeah. They were so exciting last year.
Yeah.
With Kaprizov. And I mean, Kaprizov's still very dynamic, but I mean, he just doesn't have the support like he did last year. And it's because of those contracts that they have to pay for guys who aren't there anymore, right? Suter and Parise. They're going to struggle for a while. Okay. So you said, 6?
I said 6, Dallas in 6. Yeah.
Personally, I don't think this series is going to be close at all, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think Dallas outclasses Minnesota in pretty much every facet of the game. I think that they're going to win this one in 5. That's what I think.
Nice. Yeah. I thought you were gonna sweep them.
No, I think Minnesota's goaltending is good enough that they'll be able to squeak out one. But I don't think it's going to be too close. All right, that's it for the West. That's it for the West. Nice. Let's head out east. We're just cooking. We're rolling through this. Let's do it.
Flying.
You can just feel the energy
that
we're just perpetrating here.
So pumped.
Okay, let's go to the Atlantic. The President's Trophy winners, the record holders for most points in a season all time, seemingly unbeatable. And they're matching up against last season's President Trophy winners, the Florida Panthers. So both teams offensively gifted, but the Bruins do seem to have the advantage on the defensive side of the game, including the league's best penalty kill, as well as in net. The tandem of Allmark and Swayman were the most elite duo in the league. Adam, do you think the Panthers could upset the heavy favorite Bruins in this one?
I think they can push them. I don't think they're upsetting them. I honestly, I'm going to say it. I think Boston sweeps. Ooh. I think they take it in 4. That's what I want to see. I want to see Matthew Tkachuk lose because, he's proven that, Florida is further along than Calgary, unfortunately. But I wanted to see him get further back than what he was last year, make him kind of see that he ate his words to take a hit to, a tropical place to play. So I honestly do think that Boston's going to beat them in 4. Florida's just not as good a team as they have been in the past. I think, Yeah, I think the loss of Huberdeau, even though Tkachuk came in and was over 100-point player this year, I think the magic between Huberdeau and Barkov is missing, and that was such a beautiful thing on that team.
I think the bigger thing has been Ekblad's play. I don't think he's been the caliber of player, and I think not having Uyghur on the back end, I think
that's it too. Like Boston's defense is solid. They've got McAvoy. If McAvoy is out, bang, Elias Lindholm comes in.
Hampus Lindholm.
Yes, Hampus Lindholm.
Yeah.
And he's a main, like when McAvoy was out earlier, like Lindholm had no problem generating points and offense. Like he's good. So it'll be interesting to see, but like they're outmatched. I think Florida's done.
I think you're correct. I think Boston is obviously the better team.
Yeah.
But it's my turn to be bold here.
Okay, let's see. So you're going Florida. You're doing the God, you're hoping. You're holding on hope.
I'm going with the crazy guess. I'm going, and it's kind of just a feeling.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense. But the last time we had an epic season like we've seen from the Bruins was the Tampa Bay Lightning 4 years ago. And what happened to them?
They lost.
They got swept first round by Columbus.
Yep.
And I think sometimes when you have such a successful season, just like the Bruins have had, you just don't go through a lot of adversity throughout the year to test and battle hard in the team. Also, the Panthers have been playing really good hockey since the trade deadline. Yep. They've really picked up their play. Where in like all facets, basically. Boston, obviously, I mean, they still played really well, but their power play has really struggled.
Yeah.
It's been really struggling since then. And I'm just wondering if, I mean, that's just one little, crink in the armor there.
Yep.
And like I said, first round, typically you see a lot more power play opportunities. If Boston's not clicking on the power play and Florida is, maybe that could make the difference. So it doesn't make sense to me, but like I said, it's a feeling that maybe the Panthers could surprise some teams here. And I think they take it in 7. So we'll see. We will see.
Interesting. All right. Where are we going?
All right. The other Atlantic matchup, the one that most people care about. The rematch from last year's thrilling series between the Leafs and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
So I see why you altered the stats. You wanted them to all be.
I knew you were going to say that too.
Yeah. No,
I knew you were going to say that.
What's going to make the Leafs look better on papier?
I sent you the very first stats that I did, and it was not the Leafs. So I did not know it before I started putting it together.
Yeah.
And but no, I was pleasantly surprised. They're the only team that did finish in the top 10 in all these categories. This may be the best version of the Leafs in the Auston Matthews era. It feels like this should be their year to finally get out of the damn first round. But on their way to get there, they have to get past the 3-time Stanley Cup finalist Lightning. And like you can say here, they're still a really good team. Like everyone's talking like they're cooked dinner. Like they're not any good anymore. They're still good. I mean, it looks like they've lost a step on the defensive side of the game. Which makes sense after they've lost guys like McDonough and Palat. Like that's going to hurt, right?
You'd think.
Adam, what do you think? Is the Leafs finally going to do it? Are they going to get into the second round this year? Or do you think the Lightning have just been kind of biding their time during the regular season, maybe playing possum a bit, and they're going to flip the switch in the playoffs and cause heartbreak for Leaf fans again? What do you think?
This is tough. Because here's my question. Is Murray healthy?
I don't think he is.
Is Sorokin healthy?
Well, we had Sorokin.
It's
Samsonov is healthy. Samsonov's going to be.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So if he can maintain that health, maybe they have a shot. But goaltending wise, like Vasilevsky heavily is the favorite net. Whereas like who's backing up? Who's backing up Samsonov?
Unless Matt Murray is back for the playoffs, it'd be Justin Wall. Now, Justin Wall is a rookie. And Justin Wall, I would not necessarily feel comfortable putting in net, but
right.
and he hasn't had a lot of NHL experience.
He's not Skinner.
However,
He's not Skinner.
in the games he has played, he has
Yeah.
a 923 save percentage.
Oof.
So like he's played well. And in the AHL, I believe he has one of the best save percentages in that league.
Yeah.
Honestly, he might, this is getting off track already.
Yeah.
He might be the first like homegrown goalie that the
Leafs have had.
Have had. I mean, we're still counting the chickens before they hatch. He hasn't had a full season in the NHL yet, but like he's looking like he could be legit.
Yeah. You know, another question I have is like, this is a team that's faced adversary and gotten past it constantly in the Tampa Bay Lightning. So they know how to get over that. And they've got the leaders that have done that before.
Oh, I thought you were saying the Leafs have faced adversity this season. I was like, well, but the Leafs have, because they've been one of the most injured teams all season.
I'm talking about Tampa, and I'm talking about like the leadership group that they have in Kucherov,
they know how to win the playoffs.
Hedman, Vasilevsky. You've got core in every position. It's going to be tough. That being said, I do think that, and last time I predicted this again and I was wrong, but I do think that Toronto squeezes by with injury in 7.
All right. I like it. For 2 straight seasons now, and this is going to sound super lame, but I'm going to do it because I'm superstitious. 2 years we've done this for these playoff preview shows, and every year I've picked the Leafs to win, and every year they've lost. So, like I said, I'm superstitious, and I am going to do the opposite this year and try to switch things up. So I am going to pick the Lightning to win in 7 games, and I'm hoping maybe that does the trick this year. So that's what I'm going to do. And it's lame, but that's what
in
I'm
a Leafs jersey. Oof.
All right, let's go on to the final conference here.
Did it without puking, folks.
That's the Metro Division. Oh boy. Our fans for a treat for this one. The Carolina Hurricanes versus the New York Islanders. The battle of defense versus goaltending. This looks like it's going to be a snooze fest of a series, Adam. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that I think the Hurricanes really enjoy playing for Rod Brind'Amour, so they're going to do everything they can. They're very great defensively team. Not the greatest offensive output. I think
neither of them are good offensively.
Yeah, I think they've downgraded offensively, to be completely honest. And, I think that's the same with New York. New York's New York. You're going to find a defensively sound team that's playing a boring style of hockey, and that's depending on their goaltender to bail them out. They barely made the playoffs. It came down to second last game of the season. That being said, they could upset, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. And that's why I'm going to pick the New York Islanders in 6.
I'm going to disagree. I think Carolina is too good of a team for the Islanders to have a chance. Sorokin is one of the best goaltenders in the league. I think he's going to keep the games close, but he can't score for this team. He can't play defense for this team. He's really on an island to himself on the island. It's going to be too much for him. I think the series will be low scoring. It'll be boring, but mercifully it's going to be short, and the Hurricanes are going to win in 5.
Oh, okay. Nice.
All right. And last but not least, and honestly, this is, if it wasn't for the Leafs that I'm obviously most excited to see play, I think this is the series that I'm the most excited to see how this goes. The New Jersey Devils taking on the New York Rangers. And unlike the previous series that we just talked about, this one looks like it's going to be exciting. 2 very strong teams, top half of the league in all categories listed here. Adam, who do you have coming out on top on this one?
I'm going to chalk this one up to experience, and I'm going to say the New York Rangers are going to come out on top. I really struggled picking for this one, but I think that New Jersey's just too inexperienced in terms of any sort of playoff experience. That being said, they'll make me eat my words, but they're talented. But Shesterkin's in net. You've got a ton of playoff and Stanley Cup caliber players that know how to get it done on the Rangers in Panarin, Kane, Tarasenko, like, my God. And then you get the punishing hitting on the back end by Jacob Trouba, who will take players single-handedly out of this series if they come near him.
And Adam
Like,
Fox, he won the Norris. He could win the Norris this year.
So I honestly, I think that if New Jersey pushes it, it's going to go to 6, but I'm going to take the Rangers in 5.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I also have the Rangers. Honestly, I think these two teams, like I said, are very, very good teams. And it's too bad that one of them is going to be knocked out of the first round of the playoffs. I think both of them deserve better.
Yeah.
I think Jersey will win the even strength battle. Rangers will win the special teams. And I think I've already said it twice. First round of the playoffs, there's usually a lot of power plays. So a lot of special teams. And so Rangers will have more opportunities there. So because of that, I think they'll take advantage of that and win this series. But I have it in 6, not 5. I think it's going to go at least 6 games.
Oh, that's fair.
These are both very, very impressive teams in all aspects of the game. So, okay, that's all of the series, man. We got through it pretty quick.
I think we were good on capitalizing on time and keeping it
succinct.
Down.
We don't have those other two here to just slog it down with their mumbo jumbo.
That's right.
Before we end this one off, man, let's pick who we think will appear in the Stanley Cup final and who is going to take home that beautiful cup. Now, before you answer, I already know your answer. I already know you're going to say the Oilers because every year you say the Oilers. Every year.
I'm not superstitious though.
This year, yes, this year would be the best year out of all the years I've asked you this question to pick the Oilers. I know that, but I'm going to make a rule. You can't pick the Oilers.
No, I'm picking the Oilers.
Pick the Oilers.
No, I can. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be the Oilers. They're going to be playing I would love for the Oilers and the Maple Leafs to play in the Stanley Cup finals and for the Oilers to just
accept my authority. I am hosting this damn thing.
No, I'm not accepting your authority because I'm not picking anyone other than the Oilers because you're trying to jinx my team, which you have done to yours already, Pelon. So no, I am not accepting the rules of this. If the Oilers were not in the playoffs, which wouldn't have happened, I'd still pick the Oilers.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know that you picked the Oilers. Now, if you can't pick the Oilers, who would you see in the playoffs? Or if they didn't make the finals, who would you see in the finals? And who would you see winning the cup?
If it wasn't the Oilers, I would probably go. Geez. I thought this at the start of the year when they hit an offensive output, and I'd say Dallas
to win the cup.
Yeah.
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 And who are they beating out? The Leafs?
No, because I'm not allowed to pick the Oilers. So they would be beating out the New York Rangers.
There you go.
But
so for me,
it's going to be Edmonton.
No.
David going to add to the trophy.
You know what's going to happen?
Smythe.
No, and you know what's going to happen is I'm going to edit out that whole Oilers spiel. And so the Colorado. So you all hear it here first. The Dallas Stars are going to win the Stanley Cup. That's who Adam believes.
That's absolutely
he has
bullshit.
No faith in the Oilers.
I picked the Oilers.
No, I'm editing that out. All right.
Nope. No. Oilers.
Okay, so for me, I think I see, and again, this all comes down to how healthy their guys are, but I think I could see the Colorado Avalanche returning to the Cup final. To be honest, I have it. For me, it's between them and the Oilers. Yeah. I think they're the two top class of the Western Conference, those two teams. And again, it really depends on if Makar is hurt, I'd lean Edmonton. But like I said, from what I've heard, he's good to go for the playoffs. Until I hear differently, I'm just going to assume he's healthy. And I think their defense and goaltending just gives them the upper edge against the Oilers. So I could see them making it to the Cup final. On the other end, I have the Rangers as well. And in terms of who I think would win the Cup, It's pretty tough to win back-to-back cups nowadays. So I think I'm going to give it to the New York Rangers. I think the moves that they made at the trade deadline, adding all that experience, they have lots of firepower, some good defensemen, and one of the best goaltenders in the league. They are a dangerous team, and I could maybe see them doing it this year. So I'll go the Rangers. You heard it here first. Your 2023 Stanley Cup champion. And that is it. So
yeah, right.
The New York Rangers and the Dallas Stars. That's who Edmonton
Oilers.
That's who Adam picked. Adam picked.
Ryan didn't hear so, folks. Ryan didn't want me to pick it. He didn't want to pick his Maple Leafs.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I know Adam's looking forward to it.
Oh yeah.
We'll keep bringing you these podcasts throughout the playoffs to bring our reaction to how our teams are doing, how the rest of the series are going. And of course, Adam, you'll be doing your Willie Ways in after every Oilers series or every game, and looking forward to those reactions as well. I'm sure you are looking forward to seeing your boys try to go all the way.
Oh, pumped.
But then lose to Dallas because you think Dallas is going to win it all. So
won't happen.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Please click, subscribe, tell all your friends, comment below. Tell us what you think. Who do you think is going to win the cup this year? Do you agree with Adam? Is it going to be Dallas? Do you believe
it's going to be Edmonton?
It's going to be the Rangers. Who's going to win it this year? We want to hear what you think. And with that, I am Ryan.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Delayed Offside. Thanks for listening.
Take care.
Delayed Offside.